and welcome back to a current household update. I am here with Holly and Art, and as you know, we have, or if you don't know, we have moved to a new town just for the fact that I was kind of getting bored with Sunlit Tides, and I felt like we had done, like we had lost our parents. We had, my original Sims had aged up. They had raised like the next generation pretty much, and some of the next generation is actually about to be an elder. So that's kind of why I was like, you know, I think it's time. Anyways, so we moved on stream. I built this house on stream. I know it's huge. It looks like a freaking ginormous, crazy sassafras. I don't even know what I'm saying. But, so let me just get into it. I can't spend a whole lot of time going into too much detail because I do have a meeting in the morning for my wrist. It's actually an appointment. I don't know why I called meeting. But, so let's go with that. So we're going to start with the top of the list, and I'm just going to talk about what's been going on with each and every person, blah, 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 whatever. Oh, shoot. My aging span is messed up because I had to update my graphics card, and it, like, resets everything, and it makes me angry because I freaking had this set perfectly. Just give me a second, please. I would appreciate it. I think this was at 20. There we go. This is 40. So I do play on a long lifespan, and I do have it extended a bit. Now there is a reason why, and I will explain stuff to you in just a second. For anyone who's new, obviously you wouldn't know. So there we go. Alright, so back into this. So at the end of the last episode, or the last time I had updated you guys, a lot had happened, and a lot was going on. So Holly and Art were still kind of like on the fence of things, and they were trying to like Art was still back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and he couldn't like choose between them. Well, so Alice, while they were broken up, who is now a elder, which I think is freaking crazy that she's already an elder, but it's a thing. So Alice decided that she was going to try and get back with her ex-boyfriend to try and like get back at Art, and she ended up kind of like falling for him, and so he actually moved in with us, and things were going actually really well for them. They were really, really happy and everything until he found out that she had feelings still for Art, and that Art was still like, you know, in the picture. And it ended up being that, he found this out, and he was like, listen, I don't want to be like your second, I don't want to be like your second choice. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be her number one. And so what happened is he actually called off their relationship and everything for the fact that he, like I said, he didn't want to be her second option. So he was like, listen, okay, so you don't want to be with me, like you're playing me to get back at Art. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. And so he called it off. But he called it off after they had just gotten to the point where Alice was pregnant and about to have a baby, and ended up having twins, and I'll show you them in a second. But she ended up having twins, and so he said, you know, my family's not going to let me back in the house. We can't stay as a relationship, but I still care for you as a friend, and so I'll stick around for the children until they're young adults. You know, if I'm still around at that point and they are young adults, then I'm out. Like, I'm done. And she was like, all right, like, I understand. You know, I can understand where you're coming from, and I'm sorry that you feel the way you do. And so they broke up, but they still live together. They still sleep in the same bed. They still share the bedroom. Like, they get along. And I think Alice secretly still has feelings for Alonzo, even when he doesn't really, like, know it. But she's too shy to, like, tell him. You know what I mean? Because she's already broke his heart once. She doesn't want to put him in that spot where she feels like she could break his heart again. And so she just kind of is letting it go. She's just going to move on and try and, like, live out the rest of her days as happy as she can be, and, you know, try to make herself happy and not try to make herself happy in a relationship. That's her big flaw. So anyways, as she was doing this, Art and Holly decided that they were going to get married. I do believe they got married. Yeah. They decided to get married, and you know, they've just been really, really happy. And Art had always told Holly that he wanted to have 10 kids. Even when they were younger, that was like his number goal. And so Holly actually decided that she actually wanted to have 10 kids as well. And so they have, well, she has 10 kids, he has 12. The reason he has 12 is because obviously he has kids with Alice, so they were counting. And so it makes it a little bit more difficult. And he just broke that shower, so he can repair it. But anyways, so Holly and Art have actually had quite a few kids since the last time you guys have seen them. They have quite a lot going on in their little busy lives that they've got going. But they're very happy, and Art has kind of moved past the whole Alice phase. He doesn't really care to do anything with her anymore. He's focused more on his music now. And Holly gives him that, like, when he was with Alice, he could never focus on his art or his music for the fact that he needed to always be there for her. Like, she's very clingy in the relationship because she always feels like, you know, he's gonna leave her or whatever, for the fact that that's kind of what always happened to her in her past. And so she was really, really, really clingy at the very beginning, and it was very, very, very hard for her to like let him out of her sight pretty much, and he really hated that. So with Holly, she trusts him wholeheartedly, and she doesn't think he would do anything to screw it up, and so she lets him do his thing, and she's even letting him contemplate leaving the job that he loves oh so much. But he's doing it because he wants to pursue his music more. And so she told him, you got to follow your heart, do what you got to do. And she told him she would back him up on anything that he wanted to do in his life. And so, you know, they're happy. They are living happy, and they still live with Alice, only for the fact that they have all these kids together, and it's very, very hard to like divide the house evenly because like some of the kids were so young at the time that it was just easier to stick together and just live together. So that's what they've been up to, and Holly and Art are just literally living the life, let me tell you. Then we have Daniel and his girl Jezebel, which is just his girlfriend right now. He has been thinking about marriage. I know he was married before, but he's happy to get a new start in the new town with his girlfriend, because in the old town he had the cheater reputation, you know what I mean? Like, everyone knew him to be with Mary Sue, and so when he cheated on her with Jezebel, like, word got around fast, and it made it very, very difficult for him to be with Jezebel, but without, like, the scandalous times. And so he's really, really happy with Jezebel, and he's happy with the life that they're living, even knowing it's with all of these other adults and their families. He enjoys not feeling like he likes the big house and the big family feel, so he's actually enjoying being able to see like little kids running around all the time and stuff. And he likes that his kids have someone to, you know, play with and stuff. And so he's really, really happy about that. And he enjoys it a lot. Like, he takes advantage of that a lot. And so he's just been a stay-at-home dad to their twin daughters, while Jezebel is still pursuing her singing career. She's still trying to become the best singer that she can be. She has had a couple of things kind of get in the way of it, but she's working as hard as she can, like I said, at becoming what she wants to become. What is he doing? Okay. And so he's just been kind of like, you know, working on letting her do what she's got to do. And she's been going places. She's getting to become a much more famous singer, and she's definitely spends a lot of her time doing that. And, you know, she knows that it kind of hurts the family aspect of her and her and Daniel and the kids going on vacation and stuff, but she has taken some time and vacation away from the job to be able to do that, and it's been really nice. It has been. So okay. So then we have Twiki, and Twiki is in for a huge surprise. Now, he is our doctor, and he's been working very, very hard day and night trying to get to the top of his career. And he's doing pretty okay. But recently, Sophie, because Alice got older, she wants to kind of like leave this world behind, but not with any secrets. So she did tell Sophie about the whole thing about her and Twiki's affair when he was with Sophie. And Sophie is not happy. She's kind of having an internal conflict about it. She's really mad at her mom, for one, for the fact that, you know, her mom cheated with her husband when they were together. Like, she can't believe her mom would ever do that. But she's more mad at Twiki because he had, from a young age, when she got pregnant as a teen, promised that he would always be there to take care of her. And he's actually broke that promise to her now because he's broke her heart. And it's not what she expected. So she kind of like wants to get back at her mom in some aspects. But then again, like, she doesn't want to become her mom. So she has like that internal battle, like, do I do it or don't I kind of thing. And so right now she's just been kind of focused on her kids. And, you know, she knows that she can't marry Twiki. And she knows that even though she wishes that she could, because it's something that she's always dreamed of and always wanted to do for her kids, is have like that family aspect. Because, you know, her dad died young. And she never really, like, grew up with a father. Like, she wants that. But she doesn't want it with someone who's going to betray her and cheat on her and all that good stuff. So she's decided that after they moved here, she had found out. So she's just waiting for the things to kind of settle down real quick. And then she's going to call it off with Twiki. And she's going to actually kick him out. But she doesn't know how he's going to react. Like, how is he going to take being kicked out of his own house? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously they all moved here together and he's from the old town. So his family doesn't live here and she doesn't know if he's even going to stick around. She has no idea if, you know, Twiki is committed enough to be here forever and to, like, live on his own for his kids, or if he's more of like that person who's like, screw you, like, you don't want to be a part of my life, then I don't want to be a part of yours either, and kind of just like leaves the kids behind. And that's one battle that she plays with. Like, she doesn't want her kids to not have a father, but at the same time she doesn't want to be with a cheater. So she's kind of like in that eternal conflict within herself of like, how am I going to make them like make them happy if I can't even make myself happy, kind of thing. And so she's definitely having a really, really hard time with it. And so she's going to try and work it out for herself, especially. But she wants to just work out the fact that, like, you know, he can't, like, she wants him to still be there, and that's the whole thing. Like, she doesn't want him to leave and leave the kids behind. So she's got to work out, like, is it going to be better in the long run to just stick it out with him, or would it be best for her to just call it off and move on? You know what I'm saying? Like, so she's trying to, like, weigh out the pros and the cons and, like, when and where it should happen, kind of thing, because she doesn't want to just go out and be like, well, today I'm going to break up with this guy. Like, you know what I mean? So she wants to be better than that, but she also at the same time, like, doesn't want to wait, and she doesn't want to be with a cheater, and she wants him to know that she knows, but she just doesn't know how to break the news. So that's what she's been kind of contemplating in her mind, like how and when to kind of break it off with him, and, you know, what would be best and what wouldn't be best. That's just kind of like her internal thing that she's got going on, and no one else besides her and her mom and obviously Twiki know, like, but he doesn't know that she knows. He doesn't know that Sophie knows. And honestly, I don't think at any time he plans to tell her. I just don't. I don't think that that's something that he would do. I don't think he has enough decency to tell her that, especially because he was the one who really, really, really pushed for it to be with her. And so I don't think, like, that's something, like, he would tell her. I think he would keep it to himself, personally, myself, and I think that's wrong. And I think it's really, it's, in the long run, it's only gonna hurt Sophie more to stay with him, but, like, it's her decision. She's got to make that decision. Like, I can't make it for her, you know what I'm saying? So if she doesn't feel that that would be best, then it's not best for her, and I can't make that happen. So there was a bit of a tragedy, moving on down to the list with Miss Leah. So Leah has been in a very weird place ever since we moved here. As we were planning to move here, we had found out that Leah was actually having a baby with Ty, and it was going to be their first baby. Like, they don't have any other kids, you know, it's their first baby, so she was really excited about it. You know, things were going really well, and it seemed like, you know, it was gonna happen and things were going to get better. And, you know, she had always wanted to be a mom from when she was a young girl till now, and she really was excited when she got the news. And one day they went for a ultrasound, and ended up being that she wasn't going to have a baby. It had passed away, and they don't know exactly why or what happened, but they did let her know, like, listen, you know, your baby has passed away. And so she and Ty had a miscarriage, and so Leah, ever since, has been very distant. She puts herself into her work so much more than she ever has, and she really like pushes herself to do things that, like, she'll push herself to the limit of, like, passing out because she forgets to sleep. And I don't know if it's because of depression or what's going on, but Ty wants to sit down with her and, like, have a good conversation, but she's so in her feelings, like, so deep within her feelings, that it's very hard for her to kind of come out of that. And so she actually hasn't really been around the family much. Like, when there's a birthday party for the kids and stuff, she kind of takes herself out of that equation. She's not there for it. She'll go and work or do something else out in town. But I don't know if it's her way of grieving or what it is, but Ty feels the distance and it scares him, and so he wants to kind of, like, pull her back in, but he doesn't know how. And so I don't know if it's something that Leah will ever work through, and if they'll actually have kids, or what's gonna happen. But so that's pretty much what's happening with them. And then moving on, we have Catherine. Now, Catherine was really excited when she found out that they were leaving town from over there, and she kind of, like, wanted to have that one time where she just, like, let loose. And so that one time of letting loose actually led to her having to getting to this town and finding out that she was actually conceiving. Now, it was a one-night stand. She doesn't know the guy's name. She doesn't know where he lives. She doesn't even know, potentially, if he's from the town that she was, like, from Sunlit Tide. She has no idea about anything about this guy. She just knows that she has a baby with him and that he'll never, ever know. And so, you know, it scares her because she's going to be a single mom for the rest of her life. There's nothing she can do about it. There's no way around it. She's just going to have to live with the fact that, you know, she did what she did, and now she kind of, like, has to live with being a single mom because of the fact that she slept with a guy and doesn't know anything about him, but she now has a baby with him. And so she lives with that burden and whatever. But her family has taken her in so well. Like, they're so behind her 100%. It's so sweet. It drives me crazy, but it's so sweet that, like, they told her, like, listen, you're going to be a great mom no matter if you have a guy standing by your side or not. And I'm sure, like, you can find someone if you wanted to be with. But Catherine's not really the person who likes to go out and, like, get in relationships. she's more of like the homebody, so she doesn't really want somebody. I don't know. She's really kind of weird in that aspect. But she's happy, so she named her baby Joy. Oh my god, so much is going on. It's so loud. She named her baby Joy, and Joy has her last name, which is her father's last name, which she feels happy about because it honors her father, and she feels kind of like really, really close to her dad ever since everything has went down. So, that's something that she kind of like deals with, is having to deal with the fact that, like, you know, she has a baby by somebody and she doesn't know the dad, and it like freaks her out, but at the same time, you know, it makes her feel like a horrible person because she knows at some point or another her daughter is gonna want to be part of, like, is gonna want to know about the dad, and obviously she's not going to know. So she feels like, what have I done, you know, kind of thing. Like, why would I do this to my kid when I wouldn't want someone to do that to me? And so she kind of like struggles with it, but she knows that in the long run everything is going to work out, and that the baby is going to be happy no matter if it knows who its father is or not. And so she's okay with it to that extent, but she's sad like that it had to come to that, because she feels like, you know, what have I done wrong? You know what I'm saying? So she kind of like regrets kind of having that one night stand, but again, she doesn't, because I mean, it led to her having her first child. And so she loves her child a lot. And that's pretty much that. She doesn't have a job. She kind of just, well, I mean, she writes, but she doesn't have like a, you know, 8 to 4 job, whatever. So that's what she's been up to, is just finding out she's a mommy and living the joys of that. Like I said, Ty is in with Leah, and he just is continuing on in the garden. He just wants to make sure that the life of, you know, Art's dad is passed on. Now, Ty obviously is not part of Art's family at all, but he does know that Art has played a huge role in his life, and he loves Art with his whole heart. And like, Art was like his dad, you know, because he was so little when his dad passed away, that Art has been the only dad he's really known. And he knows that to Art, the garden is like the biggest thing, because it was Lance's thing, like when Lance was around. And so he doesn't want to, like, you know, give up on it. And he knows that he's able to keep it going. He just needs the time. So that's what he's been spending his time on, trying to get his mind off of Leah and the whole situation and all of that. And then we have the kids. I don't know what is going on. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of guitars and stuff. It's very hard for me to talk over everyone. But then we have all of the kids, and I'm just going to kind of go through and like show you who they are and stuff. They don't really have much of a story quite yet, because I haven't quite come up with that. But I'm sure they will. I'm sure I'll figure something out. So we have the first, oh my god. The first child is Alex. He is Art and Alice's child. Now obviously, like, these guys have parents and stuff too, so obviously that's kind of a thing. But Alex is the first of like Holly, Art, and Alice's kids together kind of thing. So then we have Phoenix, and Phoenix is the child of Twiki and Sophie. That's their oldest son. Then we have Landon, and Landon is Holly and Art's son, so he's their oldest. And then we have Anastasia. Anastasia is Art and Alice's child. It's their oldest girl. Then we have Ambrose. Now Ambrose is Alice and Art's child as well. So that's their second oldest child, or son. Then we have Liam. Liam is, again, Sophie and Twiki's second oldest son. Then we have Caden. Caden is Holly and Art's child. And we have Anthony, who is Holly and Art's. Then we have the twins Zoe and Maddie. And these two are actually Alice and Alonzo's child. They are the children when she found out, like, when and he found out that she didn't like was using him. This is who she was pregnant with at the time, is Zoe and Maddie. And then we have Trevor. Trevor is the youngest child of Sophie and Twiki, and is probably, well, is definitely going to be their last, because they're about to have a good old talk. Then we have Cyrus. Cyrus is Art and Holly's child. Then we have the twins, Melanie and Alyssa, and they are Jezebel and Daniel's children. Then there's a second set of Candelabra children, because Deanna and Dakota, I believe is her name. Yes. Deanna and Dakota were actually conceived one night when Alice and Alonzo had been drinking, and they had went out to a bar, and they got a little bit too crunked. And they came home and had some woohoo, ending up with them conceiving another set of twins. And so Deanna and Dakota actually just aged up, I think like a day or two ago, to children. And so they're very, very young. Alice probably won't see them age up to young adult, which is sad. But she could, but the chances are very slim. But they are children now. They have aged up, and she feels like, you know, even if she goes now, she feels like they'll be raised well, because she knows Holly is a good girl, like a good mom, even when she freaking hates Holly for stealing the man that she's in love with. She knows that Holly and Art wouldn't let them have like a horrible life, and she believes in Alonzo too as a father. So, and then we have Ava Wilmington, who is Holly and Art's daughter. And then Joy is, like I said, Catherine's baby. So that's the Grantham. And then we have the Quads. So because they wanted to have 10 kids, Holly was running out of time. And so she and Art had decided that if they were going to have 10 kids, they needed to do it quickly. And so what they did is they did IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. Oh my god, I can't even say it. Anyways, so they did IVF, and they ended up conceiving 4 babies. So in birth order, it's Olivia, Remington, Juliet, and Andre. That's the order that they were born, but not the order that they're put over here. So they are the Quads that we're raising now, and they're the ones that are upstairs crying all the time because, let's be honest, they are quite a handful. I hate Quads and I love Quads all at the same time. But anyways, so that's pretty much the story of these guys. I know it wasn't too much, and we do live in, what is this called? Not Lunar Lakes. I always want to call it Lunar Lakes for some stupid reason. Lucky Palms. Yes. So let me just give you a quick overlay of the house. I did build this house myself from scratch on stream. I had no plans. I was blind as a bat going into it, but I think it came out really well. So if you go in the front door, you have this foyer, which has the stairway going upstairs. To the right is our living room. I do have the picture of Lance and Jewel on the wall here, the one of Art and Alice. I do want to get a picture of all of the different relationships and put them up here, but I just haven't done so yet. And like I said, we're still furnishing because we've kind of been low on money recently. But anyways, so that's that room. I've got a little bit of a reading nook, I guess, with a fireplace here. In here is our dining room and a little kid section for the kids, so we can keep an eye on them when we're cooking or whatever if we need to. Then we've got our kitchen with our 2 stoves, yes, because we need it. This is Alice and Alonzo's room with their bathroom. Over here I have a bathroom that's not quite completed, and this room here is actually our gym. It's going to be our gym. Excuse me. The only things that are in here right now are just the martial arts equipment. In here is our kind of like, it's supposed to be kind of like an office-y kind of place. So we've got our piano and I just put a painting easel in. I kind of wanted more in here, but for right now, this will be fine. I want to put a desk in here and chairs and bookshelves and stuff. But at this point, like I said, this will have to do. When you come up the stairs, you come up into this hallway. To your left, if you go around the bend, is this is Jezebel and Daniel's room. This was where their twins were. I took one of the cribs out, and this is their master bath. Then we have Phoenix's room. I don't know, some of the kids' rooms. All these rooms like this are pretty much kids' rooms. This room here is going to actually be a little bit of a, like, a game room, kind of. I want to put, like, little kids, the little kids stuff, the little box table for the kids as well, like another one as well. And I want to do, like, a gaming system and stuff in here. Then we've got bedrooms, 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 bathrooms, 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 and I put a dresser out here because I want to change some of the kids' clothes. It will be used. I'm going to use it for the smaller kids' rooms. And then we've got our table. I don't know who is doing inventing, but we've got it. This is Holly and Art's room with their nursery, which is very, very full at the moment, and then their master bath. Going up to the 3rd floor, if you come up the stairs, again, you have, like, around the bend. There's the bedroom here, which is Ty and Leah's. This is the twins, Deanna and Dakota's room. Then we've got some more boys that sleep over here, some girls, more boys' rooms, more girls' rooms. Oh, and down here we do have Joy and Catherine's room. She's just got one of the single rooms because she's going to be a single mom, as far as I know. I've got another potty and xylophone and peg box just in case the kids are on this floor. And then this is Sophie and Twicky's room. This is a nursery, but I don't think we're going to really need it, so I'm probably just going to put that in there and just go with the flow. So that's pretty much the house. All the rooms are... Excuse me. All of the rooms are very, very bare. There's not really much going on in them, but they all do, like, all the common rooms have wallpapering. I did go with the green, the white, and then there's, like, this brick, which I'll show you. It's this right here. That's throughout the whole entire house. Every room has it, and I actually really like it, in my opinion. Alright, so if you go out to the backyard, let me put the walls up so that it looks nicer at least. If you come out to the backyard through these doors, you have a pool area. Now the pool area does have shrubbery all the way around, and in each one of these things it has a little flower and a light, so at nighttime it's all lit up. It does have a slide and a diving board with the railing as well to climb out if you were swimming and wanted to do it that way. Underneath this, like, terrace looking thing, let me show you, is a hot tub, and it's underneath this shrubbery here. And then we've got, like, a little sitting area out here with a grill and stuff like that. Over here is going to be where I'm going to place all of the children's items, so like the sandbox and the seesaw. I've got the tree house already. All of that stuff will be in this area because this is the kids section. Over here in the corner, we still are waiting for the little baby's grave to come back for Leah and Ty, because we're going to put it in here. But for right now, we have Gavin Grantum's, which is Catherine and Ty and all their father. Then we have Lance Wilmington and Jules Samuels, which is Art and Holly's parents. This is his dad and her mom. So they died of old age, and he died of starvation, unfortunately. Alright, so then going over this way, we've got our garden here, which I've placed down things in a stream at one point, because that's how you do it in The Sims 4, so I was just going to go around and click it all, but it ended up being that it's not the same in The Sims 3, and I forgot about that, so I have to pick it all back up, but that's what Ty's here for. Excuse me. And then going this way, if you just wanna, like, this all has like a cover over it too, so I could put like stuff under there so that it wouldn't get rained on really as bad, I guess. And then this just kind of curves back around to the front of the house, and at the front of the house you've got your mailbox and your thing, and then a little bit of a garden, and that's pretty much it. The house isn't, like I said, magnificent or in any way, but it does work, and I kind of like it. I hate the roof. That's the part that I hate the most. I think if I could make the roof so much better, I would, but I really can't. But anyways, so that's kind of what's going on with this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know what's going on here, but something bad is about to go down, I can feel. if you guys are interested in seeing more on Art and Holly and their love story with, or their love triangle with Alice, please let me know. I do stream it sometimes when I feel the need, but right now I haven't been streaming this Sims 3 household in the last couple of days, but I have streamed it a couple of times. So if you want to check those out, don't forget to check me out on Twitch. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter so you know when I go live, and you know all the info about what's come out next. Don't also forget to go ahead and check out my other YouTube channel for my other gaming stuff and all of my other social media links. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the section below for anything that's going to happen. If you guys have some ideas, I would love to hear them as well. And I will talk to you guys in my very next one. Thanks very much for watching.